What's up, YouTube? Back again with another video. I've titled this one, Semen Retention Makes Women Act Feminine. So I've been out for the past few days because I've been sick. I'm sure y'all can hear it in my voice. I had the flu, and I think I've got bronchitis as well. I've got a bad cough. And so, yeah, here I am. But getting back to it, not at 100% yet, but I'm getting close. So I'll just keep cranking away. I just had a steak. It's my first meal in 3.5 days. Grass-fed ribeye. So it's a good little 3-day fast that God forced upon me, and a lot of time to think. It was really good. When you're sick, you get down low into the mind, or at least I do. You start thinking bad things, which is probably pretty good. But yeah, semen retention makes women act feminine. So in the modern world, the genders are reversed. We all know this. Everybody can see it. And also, it's a biblical thing that men would act like women, women would act like men, and there would be much confusion. That's a clear Bible verse, right? So that's where we're at. Men are acting like women, women are acting like men, right? It seems to me that women are a little more privy to acting like men than men are to acting like women, but I don't know, maybe I'm biased. So this ultimately stems from men wanting to give to women, which in turn empowers women, right? So men, we're outgoing, we're extroverted, we are giving. Women are introverted, they are receiving. It's the nature of the world. Men like to give. They like to give to women. Problem is, you give an inch, and they take a mile. And if you are too weak to say no, that's when you have things ended up out of order like they are now, right? So we've given up too much sexual energy. Now, women seem to be the ones in power, which was the whole agenda from the beginning when it comes to feminism. So I actually looked at some stuff while I've been sick, and feminists way back in the day believed that Lucifer was a representative of them as someone who was being oppressed by God, right, who was the patriarchy. And that was their kind of beliefs down low key, right? And nobody really talks about the truth of it, that women today are just fooled and manipulated same way they were way back when, because there were suffragettes and there was anti-suffragettes in the feminism era. There was a lot of women that did not want the right to vote. They didn't want everything that came with it and all that stuff. They did not want it. Now they didn't get it. So they got to have their cake and eat it too. And that's where we are in modern day feminism, is modern day feminism and modern day women believe that they can do whatever they want, right? I've met girls, I've dated girls. It's really through girls I've dated, and this is something I've come to gather and know. Dating them, meeting them, being around them, working with them, everything. It's that they believe they can do whatever they want. And there's no repercussions ever. There's never consequences. They can just get away with it. And that's basically what it is nobody can tell me what to do. I am God. They won't say that, but that's how they act. So you can infer that that's their beliefs, right? Actions speak louder than words. So when you're retaining, you reestablish the natural order of the world. When men indulge their sexuality too much, it emasculates them. And feminine men lead to masculine women by nature. Because she does not feel safe, She doesn't feel like she's being protected and provided for, so she's going to start adopting masculine traits in order to make sure that she is protected and provided for, right? So this is Mama Bear. Mama Bear coming out because there is no Papa Bear, right? So the feminization of men, a lot of it came through feminism as a whole. A lot of it was an agenda pushed by women. There was a lot of men as well pushing this agenda way back in the day. They wanted the female vote. That's really what it was. They knew that women were easy to manipulate because they're emotional. And if you are a brutally logically driven man, it's very easy to manipulate women. I'm one of these people. I've been like this my whole life, of just brutal logic. I can remove emotion from everything. I can choose, when to have emotion for something or someone and when not to. Right? And that gives me a lot of discernment, which is what a lot of y'all need. So when you retain, women feel safe because you are more masculine. You're more like a man, and you're a safe harbor for something that they don't really get to experience. So I made a video before about how semen retention makes you a 1% man. I am 5'10" and a half. There's a girl at the gym, blonde girl, pretty girl. She's about 5'9", and she's clearly attracted to me. She has followed me one day. I haven't seen her since. But she followed me over to one machine. She picked it up right next to me to work out on this machine. And then I moved over to a squat rack, and she came over to the squat rack right next to me. There was multiple other squat racks open, but she took the one right next to me. It's one of those things where it's so obvious that other men are looking at me. Everybody's a watcher in the gym. They got their headphones on, and they're all watching porn. So they're just like cuckolds. They just watch. They're a bunch of women just watching. Men are action takers, women are watchers, right? So this is why I say that, right? Because this is a tall girl. I'm not excessively tall. I'm supposed to be intimidated because I'm not 6 foot. Oh God. I guess I'll never reproduce. So yeah, she followed me, and she's a pretty girl, and I was like, wow. And she dresses modestly. I didn't look at her. I gave her zero attention. Didn't care. She followed me. I gave her no attention. Zero. I don't know if I'll talk to her or not. She dresses very modestly, but I'm not very trusting of ladies. So yeah, she all these men in here that she could go for. Dudes that are better looking than me, dudes that are taller than me, stronger than me, whatever. But she liked me. It's an energetic thing. There's a reason for it. And it's because she can sense from a distance that I've got more masculine energy. And she likes that. It's enough for her to follow me. This ain't the first time she's done it. She's come over on treadmills next to me twice. So this is what girls do because they actually feel safe. They feel safe enough to follow you. So they naturally drift into their feminine state. And I know that we've been raised in America that women are the prize and we're supposed to chase women. I'm telling you, go on like a 3-month streak, do like 90 days, and all this stuff will like layers of an onion will start to peel back, and you'll start to realize I was lied to. This was all a lie. For some reason, Americans, white people, worship women. I don't know why. I think it's been too long since we've had truly hard times for us to realize the order of things. But, man, you are the prize. You are the one that is supposed to be pursued. The best relationships I've ever had were girls who pursued me. It established a natural order in the relationship. If you're pursuing constantly or reaching out to her, if she gives you signs and you make the first move, fine. That's fine. Women are prey, men are predators. So sometimes they'll just insert themselves into your field of vision, hoping that you'll pounce. Right? That's fine. That's still her chasing you. But my buddy, my best friend from high school, we talked about this when we were kids, and he picked up that I was doing this, but he said, you know why we're so good with girls, Nick? And I said, well, yeah, I mean, I know why I am. Like, what are you saying? And he said, because we go after the girls that like us. And I was like, yeah, it would be dumb to not do that. Like, if she don't like you, bro, she don't like you. You can't get her. And I think that's why a lot of y'all are probably so jaded with approaching women. I saw that 45% of men have never approached a woman in person. If you're one of those guys, the next woman that expresses interest in you, you better force yourself to go say something. Because you're being just a pussy, bro. She likes you. She likes you, bro. Go say something to her and get her fucking phone number. So yeah, this safety makes them drift into their natural feminine state. They'll soften up. They talk gentler. They talk sweeter. They even lie less. Now, they'll try to lie, but they'll know that you can see right through it just by the look on your face. And they'll kind of laugh it off and admit that they suck and they couldn't get it, right? But they'll talk to you more gently. They're much less forceful, much more respectful to you. Of course, I've seen it the way that some girls treat some men. And they're even nicer to other men when you're around because they know it's just your energy. Like, you don't have to do anything. I was just explaining this to a guy recently, and I was trying not to sound arrogant. But he's a young guy, he's 23, and he was like, I don't understand what you're saying. What's the point? And so the story I told him was how I was working with these people, and I was going upstairs to their hotel room. We were all going to drink some beers and watch a movie. And I walk into the room, there's 4 or 5 dudes in there, and one of the dudes is married. And him and his wife are laying in the bed cuddling each other. And I walk in the room, and it's dirty as fuck. And his wife gets up, and she starts cleaning. And then she apologizes to me for the mess. And she cleans for like 30 minutes. Looks great. And then she sits back down. I feel better because it's clean. She feels better. Everything. And nobody in the room noticed it, except for me. but there was an energy that changed. Because of my masculine energy, when I walked in the room, it made her act like a woman. It forced her to act like a woman. She got up and started cleaning. Some of y'all got wives, stay-at-home moms. Some of y'all got wives or girlfriends with no kids, staying at home, and they don't clean the house. It's insanity. I walked in this place, and she started cleaning. And she apologized to me. And that happened twice. And the second time it happened, her and another girl started cleaning, and they both apologized directly to me for the mess when I walked in the room. So, when you're retaining, you're reestablishing the order of the world. You're actually putting the world together a little bit on my Jordan Peterson shit. Putting the world together one piece at a time on my Johnny Cash shit. They'll also become less controlling. Instead of making demands, they make requests. And they realize that they're inferior to you. You know, when I was growing up, I'm 29 now, throughout high school and stuff, it was known amongst all of us that the girls were inferior. And I think kids even know it still today. They still are like pretty aware that the girls are inferior to the boys. Right? Now it's like, maybe, it's just manipulation. But when you retain, girls will understand. They'll come to understand and know just by being around you. She'll know that she's inferior. And it's not a thing, you know, we're men. Like, it shouldn't be any type of ego stroke to be superior to a woman. That's, what? Like, yeah, you were born that way. But, you know, and people can argue with me, blah, 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 blah. But there's also a Bible verse, I think it's in Ephesians, that he said, I looked at 1,000 men and there was one upright man, and I looked at 1,000 women and there were none. So, I mean, that was something I used to always say, and you know, people will do everything they can to manipulate and flip it, and the Bible is the patriarch. I got male friends that are telling me that women are more spiritual than men and blah, 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 blah. And my first default is like, then why are monasteries full of men? Why are there more male monks? Why do we know about who? Buddha was a man. Jesus was a man. Who else is there? I'm drawing a blank. But y'all know, spiritual leaders are men. They're not women. I don't know, man. It seems like you can look at history and you can infer what is true and what is untrue by looking at history. Oh, but the winners write the history and they control it. Yeah. Muddy the waters so we can never nail anything down as true or not. Go ahead. They want you to be the superhero, and they want you to be the leader. Women will be more on your team when you're a man. They'll be on your side. They like you a little bit more. You know, you'll trigger them, and they'll be afraid of you. They'll definitely get a very high rise in anxiety and fear when they don't know you and you first come around. Like, they'll be feeling kind of weird. But it is what it is, you know. You're not doing anything. You're not here to hurt anyone. It's truly because they're just not used to it. My nieces were like this for a while. Now they're acclimated to me, and they have no fear around me. They're just like, Uncle Nick! Right? But at first, both of them would stare like deer in the headlights, afraid of me, because they did not know me that well. They didn't get to see me too often, and they felt that energy. And they're like, whoa, I have never felt this. This is scary. So yeah, they'll lie less. That's good. I mean, they're still going to try to lie. Women pretty much always try to lie. And here's the thing, is if she doesn't have male guidance, just like it's in the story of Genesis, if she doesn't have male guidance, Satan is her daddy. That's it. That's all it is. This is why it can seem like women are evil. Well, a lot of the women don't have a father. So Satan is their daddy. He's working through them. So, I mean, yeah, some women are effectively evil. When they're looking for help, they'll ask you over other men because they know you're more capable. And they don't mind asking you. Sometimes they have a lot of pride in that they don't want to ask a man for help because they're so capable. But that kind of goes away. And, take this one with discernment, because women are control freaks. And so they will ask you for help because they feel like they're controlling you because you help them. It's very weird that they operate that way, but that's the way their brain works, is that if I can get someone to help me, that means I control them. Very low level thinking, very narcissistic thinking. They're not like, oh, what a nice person. They're like, I just have control over him. And this happened one time. We were moving suitcases. We were going from one hotel to another, and we were standing outside of a girl's hotel room, basically telling her to hurry up because we had to check out. And she was asking for help moving her stuff, and I could tell it was kind of an egotistical ask, and I said no. And usually I was the one that helped her, but I said no. I was like, no, I'm not helping you, because it was just an egotistical ask. I could sense it. So I said no, and then this dude Jonas rolled up and started helping her, picking the suitcases up, putting them on a cart. And I was like, Jonas, stop, bro. Don't help her. Do not help her. And he kept doing it. And she was like, see, Jonas is strong. He's nah. And I was like, Jonas, has she ever complimented you before? And he looked at me and said, you know what? She hasn't. And the suitcase he had, he just let go of it. And it fell off the cart. And he walked out of the room, and she looked at me, and I was like, hurry up. And we left. And she wasn't mad at me. We talked about it after, and she was like, yeah, I was definitely like kind of on some ego shit, thinking that y'all would help me. Just like, I can get these boys to help me. Like, no, you gotta come with some respect. We're men. Now, Jonas was foolish enough to grab it. He was trying to be chivalrous, but he was a little too eager to bust a nut. So, yeah. And all of their feminist bullshit goes out the window. They're more likely to take advice or direction from you and listen to you because you're more respectable. Right? So, I know a lot of y'all have seen that, noticed that women will not listen. They will not listen. And women really operate like this, in that I watched, while I've been sick, Bear Grylls did a survival challenge. That was a team of men and a team of women. And women are more egalitarian by nature. So they said, we'll do it as a collective with no leader. And the men like order and structure. So they said, no, we're going to elect a leader who is the best leader. Who's the guy that is the most qualified? Well, I think it's this guy, that guy, blah, blah, blah. So they had a leader. And the women did not. And then eventually the women tried to elect a leader, and some of them were sitting there and saying, I don't care if we have a leader, I'm not going to do what they say. What am I supposed to do? Bow down? I don't know why on earth they're like that. This is why I say they're inferior, because it's like, if it weren't for men, there would be nothing. There would be nothing, you know. So, ladies, do not want to listen to anyone. They don't want to be led. And it's because they think that if you say, can you make me a sandwich, you're trying to control them. And you're trying to make them submit to you and bow down. And it's like, sweetheart, unlike you, not everything I do or say is about me. Not everything I do or say is about my ego. You even think that I'm acting this way because that's the way you act. So again, it's about you, not me. I'm just hungry. And if you got a girl like that, you need to sit her down. You need to have a serious conversation with her. And if she does not change or correct her behavior, you need to break up with her. That's it. And if you don't have the courage or the strength to break up with her, go ahead and retain for a little while. You'll have all the gusto to do it. But yeah, that's it, fellas. Subscribe to this channel if you like it. Like the video if you like it. Comment anything that you think. Thank you for being here.